Young Sheldon Season 7 must bring back a forgotten character to fix Mandy and Georgie's story. The Big Bang Theory prequel may have been conceived as a Sheldon prequel series, but after 6 seasons, it has clearly outgrown its premise. There are drawbacks and benefits to young Sheldon diversifying its storytelling, but for the most part, it has done a lot of good in terms of making the show more appealing to a broader audience. One of, if not the best original plots that the spin-off has conjured, is Georgie's unexpected romance with Mandy in Season 5. The couple has gone through a lot since they first got together. Now, Georgie and Mandy are engaged as seen in the events of the Young Sheldon Season 6 finale. While the rest of the family was busy with the tornado and Sheldon's trip to Germany, Mary and George's firstborn finally got the answer he wanted the first time he proposed. It's difficult to blame Mandy for having second thoughts about committing to Georgie, considering their predicament, but luckily she changed her mind. Coming into young Sheldon's final season, the pair seems to finally be standing on solid ground. But they just need to deal with one more issue that can only be resolved with the return of a forgotten prequel character. Before Mandy came into his life in Young Sheldon Season 5, Sheldon's big brother had dated several girls. As a confessed lover boy, Georgie embraced his good looks by always making sure that he had his best foot forward to impress his prospects. That being said, he had a special connection with Veronica, who was essentially his first love. Isabel May debuted the character in Young Sheldon Season 2, and she appeared sporadically until her final appearance in Season 3. Despite her rather brief stint in the Big Bang Theory prequel, Georgie was immediately infatuated. The feeling was mutual, but while it was obvious, Veronica couldn't reciprocate his affections. Considering how strong his feelings were for her, there were young Sheldon theories that Veronica could be Georgie's first wife. Going down this route wasn't exactly a far-fetched notion. Aside from attending the same school, allowing them to consistently spend time with each other, Veronica and her family are also part of the same church that Pastor Jeff spearheads. This would have made it easier for Mary to accept Veronica into the family. Perhaps she may have even pushed for them to get together. It's difficult to say how this narrative route would have been perceived, but it would have definitely been easier than what Georgie and Mandy's plot has been. Sadly, young Sheldon left their story hanging since Veronica's disappearance was kind of abrupt and without any real reason. Ever since she suddenly left in the spin-off, there have been questions about what happened to her and whether she could potentially return. Although there have been a string of characters who had just come and gone in the family comedy, Veronica's disappearance is among the most intriguing since it felt like there was more to her and Georgie's story than what the show was able to do. While there hasn't been any narrative explanation for Veronica's disappearance, it's believed that her departure from young Sheldon was motivated by scheduling conflicts. May was only a supporting character in the Big Bang Theory spin-off, but she was the main role on Netflix's Alexa and Katie. Understandably, she may have wanted to prioritize that. When it ended in 2020, there were hopes that she would come back to the prequel comedy, but instead she booked the role of Elsa Dutton in 1883. Currently, she still plays a series regular in 1923, bringing the same character to life. Whether young Sheldon is able to bring May back for its final season is all up to CBS, working on a schedule that would allow her to do both projects. In any case, her potential return as Veronica wouldn't be that heavy on the workload, considering the remaining run of the Big Bang Theory prequel. Even then, 1923 doesn't prominently feature her. In terms of storytelling, however, young Sheldon must bring back Veronica to properly move Georgie and Mandy's story. Her return could drum up drama for the couple, preventing it from going stale, considering that there isn't much else to do with them other than prepare for their wedding. Additionally, Veronica's return could address one of young Sheldon's mysteries, which is the fate of the character. Since the series is ending, and it's wrapping up its biggest plot arcs, revealing what happened to Georgie's first love is needed to give the character his own satisfying ending. Reuniting them will help the eldest Cooper kid process their abruptly cut romance and allow him to get married to Mandy without any doubts about his past. It may sound too much for a love story that didn't even fully happen, but sometimes those are the most haunting ones. Will Georgie and Mandy get married in Young Sheldon? Young Sheldon Season 7 has other plots to tackle. Georgie and Mandy's romance in Young Sheldon, unfortunately, has a predetermined ugly end. As established in The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon and Missy's brother ends up having multiple wives. Young Sheldon backs this up by mentioning that Georgie married for the first time when he was 19. This means that even if he and Mandy end up tying the knot, they will eventually part ways in the future, albeit the reason for it is currently unknown. Still, it isn't even sure if the spin-off has enough time to actually tackle the pair tying the knot. Young Sheldon will end on a shortened year due to the dual Hollywood strikes of 2023, and considering the sheer number of plots that it needs to tackle, the couple's romance may ultimately be dropped. However, if CBS acknowledges the shifts in the family comedy in recent years, they wouldn't have any doubts that the pair's romance should be one of the things that they prioritize during the final season of the premiere series. Otherwise, they could also simply order a new spin-off following the upcoming days of Mandy and Georgie as newly parents of an infant.